11 Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League. From the beautiful Mile High in Denver, Colorado, this is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music here at Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium alongside Charles Doherty. I am Cameron Irvine, back healthier than ever after a week of sickness. Almost sidelined me, Charles.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm back in SFL headquarters. It's been sanitized, germ-free. I'm happy to be part of this great game tonight, the first of two games in the Vice Wars rivalry. We've got two big teams coming off, great teams coming off of big wins last week, close wins, and let's hope if they can keep the momentum going today.
Yeah, both teams plenty to play for here today as Las Vegas will call the toss. These two teams haven't met up in a year, did not meet last season after two initial meetings the season prior. Denver has won the toss. They will kick. And Charles, what are your keys to tonight's game?
Well, I mean, it comes down to basics. On the Las Vegas side, they unfortunately lost their star running back in Robert Redford early in the game to an injury. They're going to depend highly on him, I believe. And I think their offensive success is going to ride heavily on how his production is. But he's going up against a stout defense. I think we've got some star players on both sides. Both teams on the defensive side. On the Denver side, from an offensive standpoint, I think they're pretty balanced. They have a star running back as well, and I think they're going to spread the ball a little more around maybe than Vegas will.
Vice Wars is upon us. Charles and Cam with you. Week 10 SFL action. The ball's on the tee, the hands in the air. Kramer, Jackman, kick it. We're underway. This is Max Jackson, 2 yards deep in the end zone. And Jackson, who had a kickoff return in Las Vegas' victory, kickoff return touchdown, I should say, in their victory over Sioux Falls last week, returns it out of the 22. Charles, Denver wearing their special Vice Wars jersey with the bright pink numbers and the pink wings as well to commemorate the matchup.
Yeah, it should be easy to see the numbers. That's great.
You can't stump me. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. I know where everybody is on the field. Rahman will flip it outside to Funk, and Brett Funk makes a 6-yard catch on the first play of the offensive series. Justin Jones makes the tackle. This Las Vegas offense is unquestionably, Charles, led by Robert Redford, who's back healthy this week after getting hurt early against Sioux Falls.
Yeah, they definitely missed his 5.1 yards per carry and his 9 total rushing touchdowns. So they're happy to have him back in the backfield.
Robert Redford takes the handoff to the left side, and Redford's all alone. 45-40. Wow. Redford 20. 15-10, he's going to score in Las Vegas on the road. Welcome back to health, Robert Redford.
Oh, wow. Welcome back. Yeah, definitely. He showed what he can do on that run. The offensive line, if we'll see the replay, great blocking up front right off the snap. He was able to take that off the tackle and just hit another gear. There wasn't anyone near him, at least till he got to at least the 15, 20-yard line.
Some brilliant blocking from Las Vegas on that opening series, and I love the play calling, Charles, that Thomas Rahman has struggled to get going, especially early in games. They got him a little short pass to the outside for 6, and then it set up Robert Redford to do his thing. Unbelievable start for the Fury.
Yeah, they're going to, like we said at the top of the game, they're going to rely heavily on Redford, but they're going to have to mix it up a little bit. They can't be too predictable because that Denver defense is really stout.
Oh, the chat's been waiting a long time for this game, this matchup to finally be back on the big screen, as Wolf Mode 88 says. Love seeing the game on the big screen as the extra point is good for Las Vegas. And chat shout-outs coming for Tom Rahman 11, Nick Castle, Packer Fred, Wolf Mode, TMG 82, Doug Day, and also Chad Battle, his first game at home since signing with Denver a couple of weeks ago. And it is friendly to the Nightwings fans and not so friendly to their opponents. The Nightwings very difficult to beat it home as Denver on the return. Battle past the 20 to the 24, and we will meet Josh Miller. He is as clutch as they come, Charles, and he leads this Denver offense.
Definitely. Overall, he's got a career 90 QBR, which is great. He's also doesn't make a ton of mistakes out there. I think, if he's keeps calm back there, takes a look, goes through his progressions, or able to go through his progressions, I think he's going to have a pretty decent game.
3 backs in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line, and Miller will fire it out to Jared McChesney. McChesney trucks a man and picks up 9.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was that blasted up the middle, but Miller was able to get rid of that ball just in time. And just like they're relying on Redford from the Las Vegas side, on Denver side, they're going to hope McChesney has a game as good as he did last week with 1 rushing touchdown and 2 receiving touchdowns, and also Player of the Game award.
Star receivers for Denver includes Giacomo Jones, number 11, Logan Keel, number 82. The tight end is Avery Allen, number 85, and battle wears 14 as McChesney's got a first down up to the 32-yard line, check that, to the 39-yard line for number 32 with 9:28 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, decent blocking up front by the offensive line of Denver. That's hard to do going up against the likes of Rhett Sawyer. They also got a new guy on the line there, Jason Kanakos. We're going to look to see what he can do on the line as well.
Lots of new signings for Vegas. They've been one of the more active teams in free agency this season. Miller's pass is incomplete. Looking for Allen deep down the field. That pass knocked away by Jonathan Taylor-Sconsing, who's been playing tremendous ball in this secondary for Vegas. This defense, Charles, as we look at the roster, I mean, tons of players to keep an eye on tonight.
Oh, definitely. And like you said, Johnson Taylor-Sconsing, he's got a strong run for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Last week he had an interception, had some key tackles during the game, and they really relied on him from a defensive standpoint.
2nd down and 10 at the 39-yard line, 9:05 to go. Miller will fire it out short side and complete for a 5-yard pickup. That's McChesney out of the backfield, and on the tackle, couple of Las Vegas defenders, Thomas Rahman Jr., number 42, the corner, and then also Jet Zero, who's had a great start in his first few weeks in Vegas, signed in week 7.
What an awesome name, Jet Zero. Love it. I hope we call his name a lot tonight.
3rd and 5 at the 44. Denver surprisingly down early here as Vegas on a 2-game winning streak, trying to keep that going. That's nearly intercepted, knocked away by big number 94. That
looks like Bobby Ross.
Yeah, good call there.
Yeah.
Outside linebacker. I was looking down the defensive line depth chart there, and a linebacker coming out wearing the 90s, and wow.
That was a huge opportunity there right in the midst, but hopefully he'll get that chance again. But the rookie knocked the ball down, making him punt. I guess that's all that matters from that series.
So Bobby Ross ends the drive, 6'2", 235, and the Nightwings in a bit of trouble early. Vegas wearing the white jerseys, everything else, helmets, pants for both teams, all in black today. And thankfully, Vegas didn't come out in black. That would have been a significant challenge.
That would have been an
Charles.
Interesting game. Interesting play calling.
Would have taken blackout to a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
as they often.
Someone catches the ball.
Yes. Anybody know? 1st and 10 of the 24 off the long Robert Redford touchdown run. Vegas back out there for their second series. 2 in the backfield. They're going to look for Redford. Redford is covered, and Rahman's got to get away. He does. Now the player who was guarding Redford comes over and makes the sack. Justin Jones, the corner, makes the sack, ad-libbed the play, and the corner gets, I could only imagine, his first career sack.
Yeah, Justin Jones, I mean, that was great coverage downfield. It's hard to see that on the replay. Justin Jones gets his first career sack, I believe. And the pressure up front was perfect, and the coverage downfield was outstanding.
Rahman should have recognized that because Redford was left wide open after Jones came in to make the sack. Memphis Blue with the catch got half of it back. And now it's 3rd down and 8. This receiving core, Brett Funk, number 16, John Blades, number 81. Memphis Blue number 87. They don't use the tight end too often in this offense, and it is a different type of offense they run in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate because Blades has shown every time the ball throws to him, he's got like an 80% completion rate when he's targeted. So he definitely gets the job done when it's thrown to him.
Outside, Blue not going to get the first down. That on the tackle is B.J. Armstrong, the outside, his 4th season all in Denver, and that will result in a punt for Vegas for the first time tonight. That is Lenny Pofo coming out to boot it away, so Denver gets the stop.
Yeah, outside of that great run by Redford up front, I think this is going to settle into quite a defensive battle.
7:10 to go here early on, and already 3 different possessions in the first 4 minutes. Fair catch call for at the 35, and we're going to step aside. Vegas 7, Denver nothing from Denver, Colorado. Nightwings and Fury in Vice Wars 3. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Denver, one and all. DJ Taco in the chat. Watch out, DJ. LeBron might try to trademark your username on Twitch if you're not careful, as that pass is caught outside for a 4-yard pickup. That's Avery Allen with his first catch, 2nd target of the night.
Yeah, one thing to look for on the Las Vegas side, or at least an interesting point, they've got 6 rookies out there on the field out of they're doing really well. I guess the point is, for having that many rookies out there, they're really playing hard, and they're really playing efficiently on defense.
2nd down and 6 at the 39-yard line. Miller's come out throwing early and often. Nickel look for Las Vegas. And all 11 defenders on the screen. Miller again flipping it outside, and they have been very comfortable in those out routes. Same play, I believe. Allen with another catch.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I mean, if you start throwing it up in that middle, that medium middle area, it gets pretty dangerous. But I like the play calling so far, and like to see McChesney involved a little bit more. But so far, so good.
6:40, first quarter. If you're just joining us, Las Vegas on their 2nd offensive play, a long run from Robert Redford. This rivalry game didn't take long to heat up. Miller is decked for a 6-yard loss. And that is not, I think you were looking for Rhett Sawyer, perhaps, Charles, but that is...
Jason Kanakos? Is that Jason Kanakos?
It was Jason on the sack.
He blew up around that tackle. Had a quick first step. I think I even saw a little swim move there. Was able to get around right in the face of the quarterback and bring him down, and now they get the ball back. Great series there by Las Vegas.
Kyriakis, signed in Week 8, gets the takedown. And Denver will have to punt it away again. And Las Vegas has come into Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium with their hair on fire here, playing really well as Jackson returns out to the 33, and it'll be good field position for Thomas Rahman.
Yeah, Thomas Rahman, he's been pretty conservative as well from an offensive standpoint. They've been relying on Redford as well. They should. Think they should maybe not forget about guys like Funk, Blue, and Blades.
First down at the 33-yard line. 3 receivers out of the I formation. Nickel look also for Denver. Ball near the right hash mark. Handoff Redford. His last carry was a touchdown. This one only 4. And Redford now, he just got his average.
He's going to need to work on that average. I'm sure the coach is going to talk to him on the sideline. 37.5. He's going to have to dig a little deeper.
If you're wondering what you're watching, this is the Simulation Football League. It's the first controllerless esport in the world, as coaching staffs across the league submit custom game plans before the game, and then the AI does the rest, and we sit here and enjoy with all of you. It means that you don't have to be some big athlete to make a play in the backfield. Jenkins with the tackle, loss of 3.
Yeah, that was a big stop by Jenkins. He was able to read that run right from the start and cause havoc in the backfield.
3rd and 9 at the 33. 4:55 to go in the first quarter. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Rahman Jr. steps up in the pocket, goes down, and that's going to be a 3 and out. And you called it a couple of series ago, Charles. The defenses have settled down, and that's Bailey Baca on the sack.
Yeah, I don't think either offensive line has an answer for their counterparts on defense because they've been getting quick steps off the snap and been able to get pressure on both quarterbacks.
As I was saying earlier, you don't have to be a super athletic guy or gal to play in the Simulation Football League, because it all happens right from your couch. As everyone gets to watch along with us, Charles, we know just as much as the people at home do. We're sitting here watching this live, and if we lose power, we lose the game. That's how technology works.
Life goes on pause.
It really does. But fortunately for us, we even streamed one time during a hurricane warning here from headquarters one time. We had to pause the game, but we never lost it. We always stay with SFL Nation. 1st and 10, 4:14 to go in the first quarter. Miller going to dump it off to McChesney. McChesney immediately dropped Thomas Rahman Jr., having one heck of a quarter. That's going to go for a 6-yard loss.
That was a highlight reel tackle right there. Rarely in that formation do you see a cornerback or any defender for that matter able to bring down the running back right when he catches the ball. They were definitely anticipating it. Great closing speed by Rahman Jr.
3:53 to go in the first. 7-0 Vegas on top of Denver. 6 in the box. A 3-3 look for the Fury. As Miller going to throw, fires it outside, and they're going to rule that a catch. That's Allen again on that out route. Only picks up 4, so now a 3rd and long coming for Miller. Miller 5 of 7, but for just 15 yards, Charles, so far tonight. And actually our stat man, Stephen Hacker, updating that 6 of 8 for 19 yards.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably doesn't want to test those cornerbacks. They've been playing out of their socks today.
Truceman 21 asks in the chat, how did Vegas score? It was a long Robert Redford run on their second offensive play of the game. Miller on 3rd and 12. He's going to air it out long. It's caught, first down. Past the 41-yard line, past Merrick Itera. Miller now 6 of 8 for 55 yards. And I think they may have ruled that McChesney pass a backwards pass, as Miller's now 6 of 8.
Yeah, I mean, he did test the cornerbacks on that one. That was a good gutsy play there. Caught him by surprise. A couple dink and dunks. Then they get a little settled in, and then you throw it long like that. Smart play call. Yeah,
Miller showed you pass caught by Giacomo Jones, and don't you just hate when quarterbacks stick it to you like that? You're just trying to do your job without getting called out every 5 seconds. Miller, first down, flips it out again. A 4-yard out route to Allen. He is living over there on this near side.
Little deja vu.
Seriously. Man, if I was Thomas, it's going to be interesting, Charles, because sometimes, especially after halftime, you see those second half adjustments come into play. Be interesting to see if Rahman Jr. starts sitting on that route.
Yeah, also want to see if McChesney gets a run here. I think he's only had 1 attempt so far.
Jones is the lone receiver at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, 1 attempt, 7 yards for McChesney. He'll get another carry here. McChesney.
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. Sending pink sleeves flying as Freddie Trammell had a difficult time there with McChesney on that run.
Pink sleeves were flying left and right on that one. That's why they give him the ball. I mean, you can see his power there. He gets to the hole quickly, and he's able to knock off the first defender and always get a positive gain.
Ray and Yola in the chat saying, waiting for Cam to sing. I think what you meant to say is waiting for us to be canceled. That is not going to be happening. 1st and 10 at the Fury 29, 2:12 to go in the first. We always welcome our chat banter here throughout the broadcast, every broadcast here on the SFL Network on 11, as that's a 2-yard pickup for McChesney. Tackle made by number 74. That is, I don't have a 74 on our roster.
Wow,
Do you have a 74?
I don't either.
That's a rare misprint. Apologize for that. We'll have to get that number in a moment as Allen is going to catch another out route. This is clearly a different MO from Denver. We have not seen this as much from them, but Allen is having a field day, making it third and manageable.
I mean, it's working. You know, if they can't stop them, why, you know, just keep going to the well.
Trying to figure out who that might be there on the right side of that defensive line for Vegas. 4 receivers. We'll get you a name in a moment. 3 to the left side for Miller on yet another third down. They're going to go play action. And Miller going down the middle. That pass is caught at the 15-yard line, an 8-yard gain. Completion to number 14. That is Bryce Battle, who was just assigned this week.
Yeah, great route run by Battle. And Josh Miller got it out very quickly. There was a little bit of rush coming in. He was able to have that pocket presence and rifle it into the receiver.
Thomas St. Gunn also new on this Fury defense, number 52 at linebacker, and there he is. Right on. Thank you, Thomas. As St. Gunn makes the tackle, only a gain of 1 for McChesney, 2nd and 9.
All these awesome player names. Jet Zero, St. Gunn. It's crazy.
Well, that's part of the fun of the SFL
Yeah.
too, right, Charles?
Definitely.
Your player's name is Pseudo Nakai. Your name is not Pseudo in real life. Spoiler alert, Charles.
It's not. But I answer to it sometimes.
2nd and 9 at the 14. Play fake Miller. Miller going near side,
pass.
and it's caught. They
Wow.
rule him short of the first down. Does stop the clock with 26 seconds to go. Logan Keel on the reception. And it's interesting, Charles. We've seen Denver. They run a lot of play action to Giacomo Jones on the far side, but we've seen them now go middle of the field and near side on the play action. This is a different look out of the Nightwings offense tonight.
Yeah, maybe they saw some vulnerability on the Vegas side, but I don't know about that mark there. I was thinking that might have been on the other side of the chains.
And surprised it's not a challenge either. Look at the first down line and the line of scrimmage. They're nearly identical. McChesney, you don't need a challenge when you got Jared McChesney. Touchdown, Denver, and they're an extra point away from tying it up.
Yeah, we said you need to get him involved in the offensive game plan, and they did on this series, and it paid off. That's his first touchdown of the game, but if he keeps running like that, we're probably going to see more.
McChesney breaking the tackle of Taylor Sconsing, or did enough to get in the end zone. Sconsing ended up bringing him down to the ground, but too little too late, as Kramer Jackman, the perfect kicker, 51 of 51 coming into tonight's action, will come on for an easy extra point. He could do this blindfolded. To tie Vice Wars at 7. Jackman's extra point is up and good, and we'll take a short break. And on the other side, Max Jackson will return the ensuing kickoff for Vegas. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APN Music on 11 Sports. Welcome back to Denver. 7-7. Fury and Nightwings. Battle of the Birds. Vice Wars 3. It's the SFL on 11. As Jackson will take it 5 yards deep in his end zone. And Jackson breaks a tackle going sideways. Really nice job by the Nightwings special teams unit to make that play. He only gets out to the 20. And that's where Tom Rahman will set up.
Yeah, that was a lot of effort to get to the 20-yard line. Good special teams by Denver. Thomas Rahman so far, he's 3 for 3 at 100%. That's a pretty good percentage rate. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Yeah, not too shabby of a start for Rahman, although Vegas' offense has stalled out a little bit since that big run from McChesney. Rahman stepping up in the pocket, hit as he threw. That pass a little bit behind Funk, but he makes the play anyway. Picks up 8. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back. See if Vegas can keep the offense flowing. We're all tied up after one. You're watching the SFL, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Tonight's Simulation Football League game on the 11 Sports Network is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House, and also brought to you by Fuel Beyond the Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, official branding partner of the SFL, and by MediaTek Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. The streets of downtown Denver, all the great little shops. The University of Denver also featured. Those shots brought to you by AirViews. Visit airviews.com for more drone footage, AIRVUZ. And we are back here in Denver alongside Charles Doherty. I am Cameron Irvine, and we've had a great first quarter.
Yeah, definitely great first quarter. Good defense as well on both sides so far.
2nd and 2 at the 28. Two receivers for Vegas to the top of the screen. Left of Rahman, handoff Redford, and Redford is smashed. A 2-yard loss. And since that first run for Robert Redford, Denver has honed in on him. That tackle made by Adam Wiseman, who was signed just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, what a tackle! Way to get your name shouted out on the broadcast there. Good defensive play, Adam Wiseman.
Great wrap-up tackle in open space. 10:35 to go in the second quarter. They're going to hand it off again to Redford.
Wow.
Redford is plastered in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. That's Baca, and then once again, Wiseman in the backfield. And what a great series for Adam Wiseman.
Yeah, he's definitely standing out, making a name for himself. They're going to have to think about maybe moving over some blocking over to his side.
And pretty soon they might be calling this defense or this front seven the three Wiseman. If they Baca, Wiseman, and Sawchuk keep at it. Those are three players to watch in the front seven of this defense. As Max Jackson will stand, check that, as Battle will stand at his 42-yard line, get a couple more out to the 44. So again, Denver is going to have great field position here. Both teams have really not been backed up at all today, but very little to show for it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they didn't let McChesney touch the ball that much until they got close to the end zone. I mean, it worked out, but I think they could probably catch the defense on their heels if they try a little bit here at midfield.
2 in the backfield. McChesney now 22 yards on 5 carries, and Redford, since that long run, has negative rushing yards. McChesney breaks a tackle and then is wrapped up this time by Trammell. As you look at the updated numbers for the running backs, Redford down to 67 yards.
Yeah, it's a long game. I mean, it's. I think the numbers are going to be pretty impressive here as we get into the fourth quarter.
9:33 to go in the first half. Game all tied at 7. And Miller will flip it out to McChesney, 45-50. McChesney trucks a defender, and we found out it actually is Bobby Ross, who is that defender there that we could. Well, he's number 94. We're still trying to track down number 74 for Vegas.
Yeah, and looked like McChesney did a little mountain goat there, knocked the defender on his tuchus.
McChesney definitely owns these mountains. The mountains right behind this beautiful stadium. Richard Snowden, a Hall of Famer, who's unfortunately no longer with us. He was a tremendous running back, and Jared McChesney has taken up his legacy quite nicely. That's a 6-yard pickup on first down.
Yeah, McChesney's starting to heat up, and that's bad news for the Fury defense.
8:40 to go in the first half. There's a look at Taylor Sconsing and this Vegas defense that in the first quarter was looking strong, but Denver has started to impose their will. McChesney takes a handoff. Great job by the defensive line of Vegas, and Taylor Sconsing comes up and makes a tackle, a 4-yard loss. We have seen some huge tackle for losses in the first half.
Yes, Sconsing did a great tackle there, but also you got to give credit to the other 3 or 4 guys that were there ready to blow it up. If Sconsing wasn't going to make that tackle, there are at least 3 or 4 others that were ready to bring him down.
4 receivers, 3 to the left of Miller. Miller in the empty out of the gun. That's dangerous against this defense, but that pass is caught for a first down to the 30. Logan Keel on a rope.
Yeah, that was a rope. I mean, he had a small window to get that ball in there and just hit him right in the numbers.
So how can you go from #couch to field? You can go to simulationfl.net and join our Discord server, and from there you can start banking value for your first contract, which could come as early as this off season, and you can still get on a team and have some fun before all that goes down. As Baja gets the carry to give McChesney some rest. That's another 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, they just keep hammering away there with the runs. The blocking up front has been stellar on the runs in this quarter.
Nothing from Rhett Sawyer. So far in the first half, the league's leader in sacks. And just as I say that, Miller gets crumpled up like an old piece of paper. And it's 3rd and 9 after the 5-yard loss, and this time it's Andrew Scott on the tackle.
Yeah, I think Sawyer had his thumbprints involved in there as well.
He even dove. Look at Sawyer. Right. He wants the record.
There you go. That's effort right there.
He tried to get him, but his teammate Andrew Scott wouldn't let him have it. And that's 2 sacks now for Vegas, but Scott has one, and Kyriakis has the other.
When you got a guy like Sawyer on the line there, he takes up a lot of attention and allows other guys to get in there and know if they just got to get the opportunity when they have it, and they did on that play.
So now it's 3rd and 9 from the 29. The pass is caught. The receiver on the inside thought it was intended for him, went over his head, and the pass is caught by Jones. Watch this again.
Yeah, another great pass by Miller. I think 3 guys thought the ball was coming to him.
Andrew James White thought for sure that was going to be his first catch of the night. Jones takes that away, and Denver's back in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
That's one way to confuse the defense if 3 receivers jump up in the air to catch it.
That's right. It might have been coordinated. Miller over the middle, and that pass is knocked away. This linebacking core has improved significantly during this 2-game win streak, and that's 0 with the knockdown.
Yeah, Jet Zero gave zero chance for that pass to be completed. I had to go there.
Oh, we can do that all night long. Zero makes it. Thank you.
Man.
Zero,
now you're on deck.
makes it very easy for us to do that. 6:10 to go in the first half. Here we go again. Miller out of the empty here. Watch Sawyer. He's right in the middle, right in front of the center. as the left-handed quarterback will take the snap. Got hit as he threw the pass to him in the air, and it's incomplete. But there was Sawyer, man. He was barreling down. And Rhett Sawyer, I tell you, he's having one heck of a season. A banner year for Sawyer. 16 sacks coming in the first 9 games for Vegas.
Yeah, you can see what he can do when he's got one-on-one blocking in front of him. Maybe they need to consider putting a fullback back there, or maybe a tight end to stay back there and help with the block.
Yeah, it's tough going empty against this Fury team. They're going to try it again. 4 wide for Denver on a 3rd down and 10, and the pass is incomplete. And Las Vegas is going to make a defensive stand and bring out Kramer Jackman. And Marek Itera, it's worth noting, is a special teams demon on this Fury squad, and a block would technically count as a miss, I suppose.
Yeah, they held Sawyer in check on that play, but the coverage downfield was outstanding, and they weren't able to get the pass off. So good stand there by the defense.
Rhett Sawyer with 38.5 sacks all time. That's just 1 behind Christopher Colon of Carolina and 2 behind Gib Ledoux, who's 2nd on the leaderboards for this season. And this will be a 35-yard chip shot for Jackman, and that field goal is good. So Denver, for the first time tonight, takes the lead, and we'll be back to Richard Snowden Memorial after this. Las Vegas 7, Denver 10. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Six minutes to go in the first half. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. This is the 3rd edition of the Vice Wars rivalry in the SFL. Las Vegas and Denver squaring off tonight in a game that means major playoff implications as Max Jackson wisely takes a knee there. Looking at the top 6 of the standings, Denver is sitting in 3rd right now, but could drop as far as 5 or as high as 1 with a victory here tonight.
Yeah, right now it looks like they're sitting a half game out. Every game counts for Denver going forward.
And Denver has not gotten any help so far this week. Nobody in the top 6 has lost here in Week 10, and that has helped keep everything pretty stable. 1st and 10 at the 20. Redford breaks a tackle, and there he goes again. Look at the Jets on Robert Redford. Zoom to the end zone. Touchdown Vegas, and they're back in front.
I think the coach said, son, you got to work on your 38.3 yard per carry, and he did it on that one. They had him on the line, and I don't know. It looks like he maybe just took his arm and threw the defender off him. I thought it was going to go down for a 0-yard gain. Unbelievable run. Lee
Adama in the backfield could not contain Redford, and Robert Redford, boy, did Vegas miss him last week, but they won the game despite not having any offensive or special teams touchdowns. And Redford coming in, trying to do his best Reggie Streeter impression. Redford actually had dropped a 5th on the leaderboards with the injury, but now well over 1,000 for the season, and now probably up in 2nd place once more.
Yeah, he's got a $150 so far in the first half. Incredible. And that's all on 2 runs, most of it.
153 yards on 4 carries, according to our statistician extraordinaire, Stephen Hacker, behind the scenes. Well, speaking of Hacker behind the scenes running statistics, it reminds us that you can do just about anything in the SFL to gain recognition. You can be a player, coach, owner, scout, broadcaster, statistician, beat writer, graphic designer, anything you put your mind to. Podcaster. That's a great point. Ashley Jackson, our main podcaster out there. Give a shout out to Shane Larson of Nation's Best. Does a great job. He's going to be doing some more stuff with us as we lead up to the playoffs as well. And Denver got to be a little shell-shocked here, Charles. They played, probably overall a better ball game than Vegas, but Robert Redford has been the best player on the field tonight.
Yeah, he's taken over on offense. I mean, that last run, I'm still going over that one in my head. That was one of the best runs I've seen of the season.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Miller, with 2 in the backfield, will throw. And Miller outside, caught by Keel. Rahman Jr. right on his back. Only a pickup of 4.
Yes, they're doing still doing those out passes to the sidelines, and not seeing. We did have that one touchdown by McChesney, but he's only has 8 attempts so far in this half.
Max Jackson in the chat saying that Redford deserves that record after coming close twice. He's talking about the rushing record that Reggie Streeter just broke earlier this season in a phenomenal 59-44 victory over New Orleans. That pass is caught deep down the field inside the 40, down to the 36 of Vegas, and all the way down the field is Giacomo Jones. Jones didn't have a half bad night either.
Yeah, Giacomo Jones got behind the defense, and that was a perfect pass by Miller. The referee almost got in the way and broke up that pass, but great play by the offense.
Sconsing saved the touchdown. Miller is now 15 of 20. Low key, Miller with 20 passes so far tonight, and Jones 46 yards now, 2 catches, 5 targets. That one went for 36. Actually now 81 yards for Jones as McChesney picks up 6.
Yeah, and just like that, they're almost in the red zone. I mean, they're responding to what they had to deal with from the Vegas offense.
Steve Aoki, the fullback, is injured, and that doesn't sound like too big of a deal, but he is the lead blocker for this rushing attack led by Jared McChesney, and he crumpled to the ground late on that play.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to move. I don't think they have any other fullbacks on the squad. They're going to have to move either the tight end Decker or Blanchek back there to start lead blocking.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep a lookout there because you're right. They do not have another fullback on the roster, so things could get interesting for Denver's offense. 2nd and 4 at the 30. Play action Miller. Miller fires middle. Oh, and a big hit. And now another injured player. Who is this now down? Skeeter Baja, the backup running back. 2 injuries in the Denver backfield. And I don't think I've ever seen that on back-to-back plays, Charles.
Yeah, I think that was Itera there that lit him up.
Jackson ended up getting Itera got in late. I see what you were looking at there, Charles. But Jackson ends up making the play. And this is dangerous now for Denver, who is behind Baja in the depth chart. I don't think there is one.
There isn't.
So Denver decimated. We're going to take a look at who's playing fullback right now, but Sawyer is going to get a sack, and maybe out of Jackman's range. Vegas is going to test the range of Kramer Jackman coming up as Rhett Sawyer has a sack.
He's a monster man. He blew that line up, and I think he got him out of field goal range. Well, they're going to try it, but this is a long one.
Jackman is going to try it. This would be a 53-yard field goal for Kramer Jackman, arguably the best kicker in the league. To put Denver down just 1, it's a long kick, and it is good!
Wow.
Officially from 52 yards away, and Denver is down just 1. Oh my, things are heating up in Colorado. We'll take a break. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Welcome back to Denver. 4:04 to go in the first half. Vegas a 1-point lead thanks to 153 yards on 4 carries for Robert Redford, but Kramer Jackman doing his best to keep the Fury ahead.
Yeah, I think, I thought Sawyer kept him out of field goal range, but he proved me wrong. What a kick.
Or rather, I should say doing his best to keep Denver hanging around, as Vegas still has the 1-point lead. So 4:02 to go in the first half. An exciting first half of this rivalry series as Redford takes the handoff, and he's going to be stuffed for a 1-yard loss. So we saw the top 6 earlier. This is what the wild card looks like right now. Vegas just on the outside looking in. Tulsa got a win earlier today. They are also 4-5. Just a half game behind Sioux Falls and a full game behind Atlanta. Things about to get crazy.
Yeah, crazy. So hold on tight. It's going to be a wild ride.
2nd and 11 at the 19. Rahman going to throw. Rahman pressured by Baca. That pass was thrown a little early and nearly picked off. Justin Jones on the coverage of Brett Funk. And Jones is having a stellar first half, including that first career sack earlier.
Yeah, a great defense by Justin Jones, and also that's Rahman's first incomplete pass of the half.
3:31 to go in the first half. 3rd and long. This is not where Vegas' offense wants to live, as Rahman goes deep and overshoots. Funk actually had him open if he would have waited just a little bit longer for him to come across the face of the defense. Now, I will say, Charles, if there's one time that you want to have a 3-and-out, it's right after Denver lost 2 players in their backfield. Might as well put them out there while they're unhealthy.
Yeah, hopefully it's it's cramps or something minor. They'll get back.
Fourth down, and Pofo will come out to punt it away. Armstrong to the 48-yard line. And Miller back to work. 16 of 22, a $154 on that Vegas defense. The leading tacklers are Merrick Itera, Thomas Rahman Jr., and Thomas St. Gunn, all with 3 here early on.
Yeah, Josh Miller, he's not he's not lighting it up, but I think he's managing the game pretty well. I mean, they're still down by 1, but he's not making a lot of mistakes so far.
Denver's had the ball 39 of the game's 58 plays, as McChesney picks up 6. And there's a report on Steve Aoki, but we're not going to be able to see that, so his status unknown.
Yeah, they're going to need him back. He's been blocking great there in the backfield, so I'm not sure they're going to have to step up and take his place. But, what they say, playoff teams are able to do that, so let's just see who can do it.
Vegas is 0 for 4 on 3rd downs tonight. Denver 4 for 9. Miller flips it outside, caught by Jones. They rule him short. I'm not so sure about that. And actually, that's number 84, R.J. Decker. And we might have just gotten our answer at who replaced Aoki in the backfield.
Yeah, R.J. Decker, he's they're tight ends. They've got some pretty tall tight ends at 6'6", and it makes a good target there for for the quarterback.
3rd and inches at the 42-yard line, and McChesney takes the handoff and just got the first down. Rhett Sawyer blew that play up completely in the backfield, and McChesney lucky to get out of there alive.
Yeah, lucky to get out of there live, but he also showed a lot of effort there to get past the likes of Rhett Sawyer. I mean, that rarely happens when you've got him locked in on you. He normally brings you down pretty quick.
At the Vegas 41-yard line, the average field position for Denver has been outstanding, and they have dominated time of possession in this first half, but still down by 1. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for Miller. Miller going to fire an out route for a 3-yard pickup, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Already, boy, feels like a quick first half, and we'll be back to Denver on the other side of this break. Vegas 14, Denver 13. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Back at Richard Snowden Memorial, 2-minute warning here in Vice Wars 3 as Denver hosts Vegas. Miller again on an out route that's short of the first down, but now in Jackman's range as Allen makes yet another catch. That is Allen's 6th reception of the night, just for 23 yards though.
Yeah, Denver's moving the ball down efficiently down the field. Let's see what they can do on this 3rd and 3. But this half, as you said right before we went to the break, this half went by rocket speed.
10 sacks for for Sawyer in his rookie season. 10 last season in Tulsa, and now in Vegas, 17 this season. Oh, 18 for Sawyer. He got in there again, and actually that's only gonna be his first official sack of the night. That's surprising. They must have credited Miller with a scramble on that play. I could have sworn Sawyer had one earlier tonight, but officially just one.
Wow.
And that's going to make another 52-yard field goal for Kramer Jackman. He's got a big leg, Jackman. 52 yards away. This one just slightly closer than the previous one. Denver taking all the time they can off the clock. Good snap, good hold, and Jackman's kick is money from 52 yards. Didn't get as much on that one as he did the previous one, but enough to put it through.
Yeah, how often do you see a defender do that the same time in the same sequence? A big sack like that, it's got to be a little frustrating when you're able to show that type of productivity on a big play like that, and they're still able to put points on the board.
I can't believe this, Charles. Denver, almost 30 more plays offensively, but they have just a 2-point lead. Big shout-out to Vegas' defense for having to keep Denver settling for field goals. Tom Rahman, 4 for 6 for 25 yards in the first half. And no catches for John Blades. You mentioned earlier how you had hoped to see him more involved tonight.
And neither team is, rocking the world on 3rd down conversions. Las Vegas is 0 for 4, and Denver's got 5 for 11 at 45%.
The Twitch chat is jumping. Chat shout-outs to Rizabit, Gravy 38, Average Joker, Big Fish 767. Some newcomers in the chat. Since our last shout-outs, the handoff goes to Redford. Redford says, get the chat out of the way!
God, are you kidding me?
Here I come, Robert Redford! You've got to be kidding me! His 3rd explosive run of the first half! Somebody put that man in the dirt, or Denver's going to have their 2nd loss.
That guy is on fire. I mean, unbelievable. What a run. The blocking is, the blocking's not great. He shoved aside 2 defenders on that run. What an incredible run. I mean, it's every time he touches the ball, you think he's going to take it to the house.
And John Blades may not have a catch tonight, but he did get that last block that secured the touchdown. The chat is going ballistic over Robert Redford in the first half. 227 yards, almost all of them coming on all those runs. And in fact, he may even have more than 227 on those 3 scores, because he's done nothing other than those 3 carries.
Yep, that's right. He's just, those 3 big scores, and on every one, except maybe that one run, 2 out of the 3, they had him in the backfield for rights, and he just was able to throw him off and take it to the house.
And Redford's in the chat right now, and he simply just says, "It is my destiny." It is Denver Nightwings.
Little Darth Vader quote.
who is the owner in Denver, just saying, "Wow." I mean, what else can you say except tackle him? My goodness gracious. What a first half for Robert Redford. He's got fresh legs, Charles. Yep. He was out all last week.
Somebody has to bring down Darth Redford.
Man, I tell you what, it is unbelievable to me that Vegas was able to win a game last week without this man. I mean, it just goes to show you that this Vegas team, who was 2-5 and left for dead by a lot of people in the SFL community, they won't be back in the playoffs. 2 straight seasons of playoffs. They're dead to rights. Well, they look like a completely different team on the back 9 of this season.
Yeah, impressive. Really impressive. And, Denver, outside of those 3 plays, they've been playing pretty decent defense. But, you got to play for every down.
Miller nearly sacked by Sawyer. Deep ball down the field. Oh, broken tackle. He's gone. Touchdown for Denver. What is happening here in Vice Wars? We've got a shootout in prime time of epic proportions. Logan Keel.
That was a great route by Logan Keel, and there wasn't any pressure. They were able to keep Rhett Sawyer out of the backfield on this play, and they paid for it. If a quarterback like that time, he's going to burn you.
Well, I'm glad I didn't have this game last week when I was sick. I probably I probably would have been hacking up a storm by now. This is just unbelievable football as the Nightwings.
This is what a rivalry game's all about.
It really is, Charles. It feels that way, doesn't it? Just
I'm
punch
pumped up.
for punch. Man, this is turning into one classic game with 44 seconds to go in the first half. And the snap pretty low, but Jackman going to kick the extra point. They don't go for two to put them up 3, but it is very early in this ball game. And I think the chat has lost it. This is the best football game anywhere I've seen in weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy exciting. I thought coming into this that it wasn't going to be high scoring, but throw that thought out the window.
Chad Battle in the chat saying we can do it too. The only problem is now Robert Redford gets a chance. I wonder if he's exhausted still from the previous touchdown.
He's still at the oxygen mask.
And what's even more impressive is Jackson returns this out past the 10, but he won't even get past the 20, is that this is coming against a Vegas defense that only allowed Sioux Falls 16 points last week, and Denver's got 23 in the first half.
Yeah, and also, rushing yards allowed and rushing touchdowns allowed on Denver for the defensive standpoint. They're number 2 and number 1 respectively. This is not a defense to laugh at. They're at top of the league.
3 receivers, hand off Redford. Oh boy! Oh my goodness, Robert Redford! He's still going.
Oh my gosh!
I think somebody oiled him
oxygen
up before the game.
Fan me off.
Check his equipment. Unbelievable.
Holy
8-yard
mackerel.
pickup. And I don't blame Vegas for not trying to get the ball down the field. Redford has 10 times the amount of rushing yards as Rahman's passing yards in the first half.
It's unbelievable. On 9 attempts.
Oh my. This might be the final play of the half. Redford one more time getting outside, and he is cut down, and Vegas is going to try him one more time perhaps. Burns a timeout.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm going to need some water at halftime.
Going to have to get a refill out here.
Mackerel.
My goodness gracious. It's just so uncommon, Charles, to just see, especially this season, especially when defenses have improved, when running backs, cost more against the salary cap. We just don't see these type of performances anymore out of these backs. And he is just, and what I mean by that is the broken tackles. He is just out of his mind tonight.
Yeah, you got to also give hats off to, so far for the first half, to the coaches on Las Vegas.
Oh, he almost got away again. I was holding my breath. That's the end of as entertaining of a first half of football as you can possibly have. 23-21 Denver, the 7-1 Nightwings holding on for dear life against the Red Hot Fury, winners of 2 straight. Denver, by the way, has won 6 straight ball games after losing just in the last few seconds to the 3-time defending champion Alaska Storm back a couple of weeks ago. And I don't even know what else to say. It was the Robert Redford show. Definitely. And Vegas is still losing.
Yeah. It's an incredible game. I didn't get to see what the time of possession was, but I think Denver is probably way on top.
Yeah, in terms of plays, 47 for Denver, 23 for Vegas. I didn't catch it either, Charles, but I mean, just totally lopsided. And the question remains, even though Redford is having a tremendous night, how many more plays will this Vegas defense be able to play before they're exhausted? I mean, Denver at this pace is going to have over 90 offensive snaps.
Yeah, good point. The Vegas defense is going to start tiring out. And the other point, though, on the for the Vegas offense, those runs that, with the exception of one, as I stated right before the half, those runs, the blocking was not, was not 5-star. It was pretty weak, and that was all Redford.
Miller, 239 passing yards in the first half. One of his best halves it ended up being of his career. 1 touchdown, no picks, kept a clean game. QBR 119.
Yeah, both the court. I mean, it looks like Miller was starting to get a little bit groove there on that bomb at the late in the second half, and I think they're going to need to make some adjustments at halftime to figure out how they're going to stop Redford. But the bad news is that it's going to put the ball in Rahman's hand, and he's going to be able to pass it to the likes of Funk and Blades, and Blue have been pretty quiet so far.
Well, and this is where Denver's offense needs to just continue to score points, because if Denver can put Vegas in a hole, that puts the game squarely on the shoulders of Thomas Rahman, which is exactly where I think Denver would much rather have the game tonight as we get ready for the second half. Just sensational. Beautiful day here in Denver, and man, these hometown fans are getting a treat tonight.
Yeah, what's next?
What's next? Who knows what's next to come in this game? We have no idea, but we do know what's next to come in the nightcap of an SFL Sunday. Chain Gang, get out of the field as Battle returns it over the 24-yard line. Come on, man. Upcoming games, they can't even keep up with all this action. Tallahassee takes on Houston coming up on 11 Sports, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Vancouver and St. Louis, other late-night action tonight. And then tomorrow, 2 games that mean a great deal to the playoff seeding. Sioux Falls at Mexico City, followed by Chicago at Queen City on the 11 Sports Network. All right, 1st and 10 of the 24. Back in the hands of Miller. Going play action deep down the field. That pass is knocked away. And getting a big paw up down the field, number 52, Thomas St. Gunn. And Baja is done for the day with a fractured arm. Now the question is, did
Aoki, this fullback?
Yes, Aoki. I'm sorry, I just could not think of his name. Is he going to be back in the game? We've seen Denver in a lot more empty sets since their backfield got decimated by injuries in that first half. Lost 2 players. Miller, 2nd down and 10. Great job by the offensive line. 1st down to the 36-yard line. You can't ask for anything more than that as Bryce Battle makes the catch.
Yeah, early in the second half here, the offensive line of Denver has been able to keep Sawyer from getting in the backfield. Let's see if they can hold on to that.
30 seconds into the third quarter. If you're just joining us, Denver wearing their special Vice Wars rivalry uniforms, channeling their inner Miami Vice with the look as they get another 1st down at the 48-yard line. And right now, Vegas, who relies on their defense to keep games lower scoring, they're playing Denver's game right now, not Vegas's.
Yeah, and it looks like Miller's starting to heat up a little bit, which is not good news for the Vegas Fury.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line, 9:55 in the third quarter. Again, out of the empty for Miller. Sawyer is matched up on the center. Again, nicely done by this offensive line. That's been the difference on this drive in the third quarter. Vegas just not getting any pressure on Miller. Allen with the catch.
Yep, they're holding the Wolves at bay, and they're able to give they're able to give Miller time, and he's just eating up that secondary.
Avery Allen getting involved in a different way here in the second half. 8 catches, 47 yards. He's been the most targeted pass catcher out there. 2 in the backfield now, and that's got to be a tight end. Just a huge lead blocker now out in the backfield for Miller. Hand off McChesney. Lead block picked up, and McChesney picks up 6. Nice job, Decker, making things happen.
It's like having a bulldozer back there. That's outstanding.
And I'm pretty sure it's Decker. It could be Sam Blanchek.
They're both the same weight and height, I believe.
But, so either way, Denver's got a good insurance policy back there. 4 wide now for Miller. Just 7 incompletions, 22 for 29 tonight. And no takeaways for the Fury defense that heavily relies on him. That's the play we're used to out of the play action for Denver, and that's caught for a 1st down to the 29. Jones with the catch.
Yeah, not a flashy play, but very smart. Was able to catch the wide receiver there wide open on the sidelines. Right now, the Vegas Fury defense on their heels. They're going to need to come up with an answer and find a way to continue to, well, not continue, to put pressure back on Miller.
Vegas -4 in turnover differential this season, and they haven't done anything to turn that around tonight. McChesney, a lot of space.
Wow.
Look out. McChesney inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line for a first down for Denver.
Yep, McChesney wants to get on the highlights too. Redford's been keeping it all so far, so hopefully McChesney will continue to heat up and get some big plays here.
Man, there's just too much space.
Yep.
You just can't give that up. Itera got blasted right off the screen. Good blocking down the field for the Nightwings. Make sure to like the SFL on Instagram and give our partner nations best a like while you're over there. Instagram's going to have some great stuff leading up to the playoffs and the championship game. We're really excited about our playoff push. As Denver, certainly a part of that push, will fire it near side. There is a flag that may have been ineligible downfield. I saw Luke Jakemans, the guard, drifting. Nope, going to be PI.
PI.
Didn't see that.
Huh.
That's on
42, that's
Thomas
on
Rahman Jr.
Yeah. Was that in the end zone?
I'm not sure. I thought he made the tackle there. Maybe he bumped.
That was did you see the receiver, though, flew in the air like that?
Yeah.
Looked like maybe he was pushed back.
That's right. He might have gotten pushed in the back before we got it on screen. Anyway, it ended up resulting in a catch. Denver declines the penalty, 1st and goal at the 6 now, and this has been one of the best drives for Denver of the night. Pass is dropped.
Wow. Well,
And, boy, I really gave the commentator's curse
there you
on
go.
that
You
one. That's
dropped that
R.J.
one.
Decker.
You dropped that on the field. Somebody needs to come out with a shovel and clean that one up. Yeah, but they've been doing that all game, and it's been successful with the exception of that one play, and it was just the receiver dropping it. But look at the time they're eating up off the clock. It's going to be at least 4 minutes so far on this drive.
There's a chalkboard behind me that says blank days without a commentator's curse, and we just erased the 1 and put
The
a
clock
0
starts
again.
again.
2nd and goal at the 6. Handoff McChesney. McChesney breaks a
that.
tackle
Wow.
and down to the 1-yard line. And Las Vegas has one play. This play, I don't want to be over dramatic, Charles, but this play could decide the game, because if Denver scores a touchdown, they go up by 2 scores. That puts the pressure on Thomas
Definitely.
Rahman. If Denver has to settle for a field goal, it's only a 1-score game.
Yeah, puts a lot of weight on Redford's back as well.
3 in the backfield. Handoff McChesney, and Red
Big.
Sawyer made the play.
Wow.
That is one of the best plays, individual effort plays by a defensive tackle I have ever seen with the deck stacked against him.
Yeah, I mean, what else can the defense do? I mean, they bend it, but they didn't break. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, had a big stand there on the goal line, and now the pressure's clearly on the shoulders of Rahman and Redford.
Where did he come from? He came out of nowhere. What a play.
Oh, I thought I was going to say large parents.
I see how we might have got our wires crossed there. The field goal is good for Jackman, and with 6:17 to go in the 3rd quarter, Denver only up 5. Robert Redford is on deck. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Las Vegas and Denver playing a game for the ages here in Week 10 of the Simulation Football League's regular season, the 13th season of competition. Yes, that's right. If you're just joining us for the first time tonight, you've missed over 1,000 games, and we've crowned 12 previous champions. The Alaska Storm, the reigning 3-time champions, but this season Charles, we have seen time and time again each and every week that anybody can beat anybody.
Anybody can beat anybody. I mean, you've got some teams that are at the bottom of the standings, and every time they play, they put up a fight. As they lose by a field goal or a touchdown, and it's done at the end of the game. So, no game's easy to win in this league.
Rahman starts the half with a pass to Redford, and Redford says, I'm not out of bounds. I'm not out of bounds. Let me keep going. But, yes, you stepped out. Double R, first down at the 36.
Yeah, I think the pressure's now on Redford's shoulders. I mean, so far he's been able to handle it, but they have to get on the board. I mean, it's only 5 points, but I feel that the momentum is starting to swing a little bit on Denver's side, and their offense was clicking.
I tell you what, if Vegas ends up winning this game and Vegas ends up getting back to the playoffs, I think Rhett Sawyer from the defensive tackle position is a legitimate MVP candidate. He just makes special plays, man. This guy is so fun to watch. First and 10 at the 36. There goes
Great
Redford.
blocking.
Redford,
Wow.
45-50. Redford almost got away again down to the 44-yard line. 264 for Robert Redford.
Yeah, great run by Redford, but you got to give credit on this to the offensive line as well. Great blocking up front. Gave a good hole for Redford to slip through and get a good run.
And if you're wondering at home, how often does this happen? How often do you see a running back just going crazy like this? And honestly, it happens once about every 400 or 500 games. I mean, it is very unusual. And we've seen now 2 players this season have tremendous performances. Rahman now throws to a wide open Memphis Blue. Blue's been his top target. That's a 9-yard pickup now with 3 catches.
Yeah, definitely his top target. And I like the play call there. I don't like it when you go from a good running game like that and then you try and bomb it down the field. It was a nice conservative play, if you will. But I think it's good enough to give Redford an opportunity to get a first down here.
The chat is lit tonight. Tom Rahman, half man, half amazing. Ray and Yola calling him a cyborg. Jack Wall wants to make it stop. And that is a stop right there. A loss of 1 in the backfield. Mike Sawchuk making the stop. He's been a little quiet tonight. That's just his second tackle.
Yeah, he has been quiet, but that guy's known for bringing down running backs and great open field tackle. I don't think anyone else on the defense was able to do that so far this game, but he showed that he has the ability to bring down those tackles.
4:21 to go, third quarter, third down to 2. Oh, man, Robert Redford. There is a cleanup on aisle 36.
Holy mackerel, that was another Sawchuk.
Wow. Somebody go and get the mop.
It's like an anvil was dropped on Redford.
4th and 2. That's how to make a statement on Robert Redford. The offense is staying out on the field. Redford does average 18 yards a carry tonight, but I don't even think Denver would be fooled here as Vegas going for the hard count. What do you got to lose, right?
Yeah,
if you're Vegas, although Redford's not even in.
Yeah.
Redford's tired. What gave you the impression we weren't going to snap it? Was it our star running back being on the bench? That wasn't going to fool anybody, and Vegas calls the timeout. So Denver gets the stop, but the Fury did flip field position. Now it's back on their defense.
Is this in McGrack's range?
Tough to say.
53? Is that 53?
Yeah, 53 or 52. He has had a rough season.
He did the game winner last week. That was over 50.
That's true. He did get the game winner last week, but they're not going to call on him. If you miss, you give Denver great field position again.
That's true.
So
but you're fighting for the playoffs.
I agree.
You got to take some chances here.
Yeah, I agree. With Tulsa and London right there with Vegas, a loss tonight would dump them further down the standings. This is a great
What
punt.
a kick.
Oh, down to the 1-yard line.
Oh, my gosh.
Number one. Look at that.
Oh.
That you
Look at
just
that, huh?
wow. You don't. It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, my gosh. Poffo put it right where he needed to.
Wow. 3:33 to go in the third quarter. An incredible punt.
Isn't that a nightmare when you're on the 1-yard line and you got to go up against Sawyer?
And we've had a safety in this series cause some controversy. We'll get to that in a minute. McChesney takes the handoff. There won't be a safety there. A 4-yard gain.
Yep. Gave him a little cushion, but still, you can't rest on that last run. You got to watch that man, number 54.
So 3:20 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 at the 5. If I was Denver, I wouldn't dare throw with Rhett Sawyer back there. They're handed off on a trap to McChesney. Breaks 2 tackles, almost got away, but Max Jackson, another brilliant play. So we were talking about the safety earlier. So Vegas ends up winning a game. The first time these two teams ever played in Denver, Vegas got the win 18-15, and they did that in part because of a safety, and McChesney's not going to get the first down as the tackle made by St. Gunn again.
He was shot like out of a gun. There was a huge hole there for McChesney, and he shut that down. Great closing speed, great tackle.
I know that it's not necessarily a low-scoring game, Charles, but even in this high-scoring game, we've seen tremendous defensive plays, and not just one, every series.
Yep, and you got some new guys out there that are flashing on the field as well.
Jackson from the 40, got some room to return, and Max Jackson gets out of the 33. Looked like they grabbed his face mask, but no call. Vegas in stellar field position, and their decision to punt, previous drive ago, paid off. We'll be back. This is the SFL on 11 Sports. What a ball game we've got here in prime time on 11 Sports. Denver up 5, but Vegas has tremendous field position. Offside for Denver. Free play for Redford, and Redford's not going to get anything but that offside. Going to give the Fury 5 yards, and that's the last thing you need to give Vegas, a 1st and 5.
Yeah, definitely. Las Vegas is in prime position here to put some points on the board.
Bandito jumping off, and man, what a tremendous ball game! And it just makes you think about what these teams can do in the playoffs. They're just uber talented. Denver's last 3 games are against London, New Orleans, and then at Vegas. These two teams will see each other again. That makes this game even more exciting that we get to see this again here. 3 receivers all to that side of the screen. Redford going to be dropped.
Big stop.
For a 2-yard loss. Again, Redford in the backfield. He's either scoring touchdowns or getting crushed back there.
Yeah, that was a big stop. I didn't see who. I took my eyes off the screen
I
for a second. I didn't
see
see who made the stop. That was definitely good defense there.
Of course, Denver welcoming in London next week. That's another team that's desperate to eke their way into the playoffs. 2 in the backfield. Rahman looking around. Rahman going to take off and run, and the athleticism from Bailey Baca catches him from behind before he picks up the first down.
We saw some speed there from Baca, able to bring him down. Wasn't a sack, but kept him from making that first down.
I thought the only way Baca could move that fast was on those automatic walkways at the airports. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The moving escalators?
I was nervous there for a second. I didn't know where you were going.
That's the fastest I thought Baca could go, but he really showed some wheels there. 3rd and 3 at the 26. Rahman going to throw. Rahman down the middle of the field. Pass hit him in the air and intercepted at the 6-yard line. Pass intended for John Blades. Wow. It was the first time he was targeted all night, and the pass was picked off by Nicholas Warner. First turnover of the game.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass, and unfortunately, Vegas had points there on almost on a silver platter the way Redford's been running, and the momentum swings over to the Night Wings now, and that was Warner's 2nd interception this season.
I'm shocked. The decision to run or to pass on 3rd and 3 rather than pass, that could loom large here tonight for Vegas. 2 in the backfield with Miller. Miller going to throw it out to McChesney. Corner chasing, and really nice closing speed there. That was actually in the slot. Freddie Trammell, brilliant job getting over there.
Yeah, brilliant job there. And also you're seeing that that line with Sawyer starting to heat up a little bit there. They got some deep pressure there on that last play.
Amazingly, in amongst all this action, just 3 points in the third quarter.
Yep.
It was 23-21 at the break. Denver had the lead, and they have shut out the Fury here in the third frame. Last play of the quarter. Miller going to throw, and it's out of bounds and incomplete.
Yep, that play's not working as much as it did in the first half.
No, it's not, and that could be because that's Decker out there,
Yeah.
and they're missing their fullback. End of 3. We're back to Denver in a moment. Get your 4s up in the chat. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports, is brought to you by Nation's Best, helping football players everywhere, high school, college, pro, #secure the bag. By ScoreStream, the official scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, official merchandise partner of the Simulation Football League. And by SpyGoat, the sound choice. Look at beautiful Denver, man. This place, we've been to a lot of cities this season, Charles, and this is just one of my favorites.
It's definitely a beautiful city. Definitely a beautiful city. And those camera shots are amazing.
Brought to you by Airviews. Airviews.com, AIRVUZ.com for more drone footage. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine, what a wild one we've had here tonight. Here in prime time of Week 10, the Nightwings 7-1, their only loss to the 3-time champion Storm, in a bit of trouble now with Las Vegas as the Fury get another defensive stop, that one off the hands of Battle.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. They didn't have a lot of pressure on the quarterback there. I was a little confused as why he threw into coverage like that.
This is Rahman Jr. on the coverage. Look at coming over the middle. That was actually Keel. Keel, the leading receiver tonight for Denver with 100 yards on 5 catches. We were looking over
Yep.
The stats brought to you by Stephen Hacker tonight back in our truck, and just some interesting numbers.
Josh Miller quietly has 300 yards.
Yep, 325 of 35. And Denver, 67 offensive plays to Vegas's 33. And that's 67 offensive plays in 3 quarters, as Jackson from his 47-yard line will get it into Denver territory. So the last time Vegas started from Denver's 33 and ended up throwing an interception. It was the first turnover of the game How will they respond here?
Well, hopefully they learn from that mistake and realize that they have to keep feeding it to Redford. I mean, it's a simple. That's maybe sounds like too easy, but my gosh, he's got a 17.4 yard per carry.
Chat shout-outs to Rob's Gaming Team, Zero Rising, Original Frostbite. Some newcomers who haven't gotten a shout-out so far tonight. That's Brett Funk on the catch for 5. And that's been Rahman's most successful throw. Just that short completion over the middle, just 50 yards, but that was only his 10th attempt, 7 completions.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of passes, but I think that's okay. I mean, keep conservative passing, and you got to keep feeding Redford.
261 yards for Robert Redford, but because Vegas has hardly been on the field, that record is pretty far away at this point. 10:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Hand off to Redford on his 16th carry. Redford spins away. Redford's got a first down to the 35-yard line, and you took the words right out of my mouth, Charles. That is just crazy.
Again, let's look at this on the replay. I don't know if that was the greatest. Well, that was a decent hole to go through, but look at that.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Bandito actually missed him the first time, ended up making the tackle. Nice job keeping your head up. Wow, under 10 to go. Vegas driving again, now at the Denver 35-yard line. 3 receivers, looks like man coverage, with 8 defenders on the line. Redford in the backfield, takes the handoff. Redford gets away. Oh, what a nice play by the safety, Warner, who has the interception. Nicholas Warner having a stellar job tonight. He came up from his safety position and clocked Redford after a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, that's, honestly, they haven't been able to do that very often this night, but Warner was there and made a key stop there.
John Blades is off to the right of Rahman there, right at the end of that line. Heavy set here with Redford in the backfield. 4-3 look for the Night Wings defense. Handoff, Redford now running left, and Redford has stood up, and that time the game was won at the line of scrimmage by Denver. That is number 52, Adam Wiseman, making another tremendous stop on number 28.
Yeah, big stop here. Now they're in a dangerous throwing. They haven't been able to show an ability to throw it in the mid and deep level yet. So let's see what they can do on this play.
Yeah, 3rd and long has not been kind to Vegas. In fact, 3rd down hasn't been kind at all. 0 for 6 tonight. Rahman pump fake down the middle of the field, knocked away. Oh, nearly into the hands of Funk, who was just standing there. But it's going to be 4th down, and Vegas is now 0 for 7 on 3rd down conversions, and we'll see if they try the field goal here or if they'll punt it away.
Looks like he's coming out. McGrack looks like he was walking out there, number 7.
Yep, they're going to give him a shot. Wow, this is a critical kick. 50-yard field goal. This would give Denver tremendous field position. We wait with bated breath. From 50 yards away. Bad snap.
Oh, my gosh.
McRack's kick is good. He made it. Oh, my goodness. Right over the crossbar. The kick is good.
Oh, wow. I wish I could get a replay up there on the line.
Oh.
It looks like they God, barely. That was like half a football.
What a kick.
What a kick.
That and the chat reacting, I mean, instantaneously here on the 11 Sports Network by a hair.
I thought that was going to be blocked.
Yeah, I did too.
It was not looking good.
And the composure to with all that pressure in his face to still be able to make the field goal, and it was right down the middle too. Returned out of the 23-yard line. Vegas now down just 2, and a McRack field goal could now win it in the event of a needed kick. And funny thing, if Vegas would have gotten the safety earlier, it'd be a tie ball game.
Yeah.
But they were unable to do so.
Got so many great plays tonight.
8:30 to go in this tremendous classic Vice Wars 3 here from Denver. Play action Miller. It's not open, and Miller's sacked, and it's Rhett Sawyer with his 2nd of the night.
Are you kidding me? I think they sold him short on sacks. He should have more than 2. He should at least have 2.5. I mean, he's a beast back there in the backfield. So the question is, what does the winner get in the rivalry? Is there a particular prize that the winning team gets that they have to give each other, or what?
I think there's been some off the books.
Yeah.
Off the books conversation about that, but Sawyer now 18 sacks, just crushing it this season in 10 games for Vegas. An MVP candidate. Miller throws. That pass is caught beautifully. And you know what that looked like, Charles? That looked like hours and hours and hours of practice between Avery Allen and Josh Miller. He knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah, they've done that before, definitely, and it was you could see it on there. It was perfect timing. The route was run crisp, great execution.
7:38 to go, fourth quarter. 3rd and 4 at the 29-yard line. Denver 5 of 14 on third down tonight. Little quick out route, and that's execute. Oh no, you got to challenge that.
No way.
You got to challenge that. Logan Keel ruled out of bounds. That is horrific. That is horrific officiating. and Vegas all over it.
There you go. Smart move.
Golly, that is one of the worst calls I've seen in a long time. We're going to get another look at it. And hopefully the officials can right the wrong there. He looked like he had 4 feet in.
Well, let's see here.
Keel on the sideline.
Definitely one.
Oh, definitely got 2. Yeah, a full 2 feet. You only need 1 in the SFL.
Let's see if they do the right thing.
And they do the right thing. They absolutely do the right thing. Smart challenge there by Vega. First challenge of the night by either team, and that'll give Denver a fresh set of downs. Boy, there were. I thought some fans were going to come out of the stands on that one. They did not like that call.
They had to have security on the sidelines.
Justin Reside in the chat saying the Fury Wing Trophy. That's got a nice ring to it.
I read it wrong. I thought it said furry wing. I'm getting old.
That does not have a nice ring to it. I don't want your furry wing.
Thanks.
Gain of 2 for McChesney. 7:13 to go in this football game. Denver by 2, but Vegas has played with them all night long. While Redford is slowed down in the second half, Fury still playing ball. McChesney dropped in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. It's Thomas St. Gunn again. He was just signed, and he has just been tremendous tonight. Definitely the most impactful rookie of this week's class.
Yeah, like I said at the top of the game, they have 6 rookies out there on the field, and they're not missing a step.
And if you want to get on the field, go from couch to field, you can do so by visiting simulationfl.net.
Oh!
And Miller on third down is sacked again.
Guess who?
This guy is just unstoppable right now. He is putting the team on his back. I'm talking, of course, about Rhett Sawyer.
Yep.
But it's just...
You think they might have learned to maybe stop going empty backfield. He kills anybody one-on-one.
He's a difference maker, man. He is the Alex Dominguez reincarnate, as a Rhett Sawyer destroying Denver's game plan here in the fourth quarter as Jackson breaks a tackle. Jackson 40.
Wow,
Jackson down the sideline. Jackson into Denver territory again. 5:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Vegas knocking on the door of a monster upset. We'll be back to Denver in a moment. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Back in Denver, the third of 4 games here on the 11 Sports Network today, and all 3 of them have been great, but this one has been one to behold. Just 3 points in the second half, and it's been the most exciting 3-0 second half of my life. Redford picks up 9. Down to the Denver 37. He's up to 278.
Yeah, and Jackson set him up perfectly on that punt return. And you look at Robert Redford do a great 9-yard run there, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Right. He's spoiled us tonight.
Wow. Yeah, I'm spoiled. That's what I was thinking.
Coach Craven in the chat saying, run it, control the clock, and close it out. As they'll hand it off to Redford. Redford got a nice block and really a great job by Sawchuk to prevent a bigger gain. Redford very slow to get up, but Sawchuk with another vicious hit. That's his third tackle.
Yeah, that was a big hit by him because it looked like Redford was starting to rev up there for another big run.
But a fresh set of downs, and that clock is moving. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at the 37. A 4-3 look for Denver's defense. And Thomas Rahman will hand it off to Redford, and he is speared at the 37. And that's Sawchuk again. He's really heating up in the second half.
Yep, just at the right time. They need somebody like that to lock on to Redford and keep him from knocking off those big runs.
And Thomas Rahman in his first season handling some coaching duties in Las Vegas, and it took the Fury a little bit, trying to get going this season, but really doing a nice job. Kudos to the coaching staff in Vegas for turning this season around, and right now their season quite possibly could be on the line in the next 4-13, and now they're facing a 3rd down and 9 thanks to Sawchuk again.
Yep, another great stop by Sawchuk. The defense of Las Vegas has been putting the Vegas offense in good position here, but they haven't been able to capitalize on the last couple series.
The trio of receivers off the right side. This is a new look out of the offense of Vegas here. Rahman out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 9. Rahman going to throw it near side. Passes caught, but Blue cannot break the tackle. He did, however, A, stop the clock, and B, got into McRack field goal range. So he now has a chance to take the lead here. And with the clock stopping, just in case he misses, that could give Vegas a little bit of extra time.
Is number 7 out there? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. 46-yarder. It's another huge kick. McRack, the game winner last week. He has been on fire as of late. Another low snap, but this time better blocking, and the kick is good again from 46 yards. And the Fury have taken the lead on 2 field goals. And this is now nearly 8 straight quarters, Charles, without this offense having a passing touchdown. And 6 of their last 8 quarters, their offense has not produced a touchdown. And they have a chance to the Fury to go 2-0 down that stretch.
Well, just like last week when the offense wasn't able to put points on the board, the special teams and the defense were able to score a touchdown, and also the field goals as well. Looked like he had 4 last week. He's got 2 so far, 2-3 tonight.
Nail biters all across the SFL today. San Francisco pulled away just a little bit before we got on the air, but won 38-24 over New Orleans. That eliminated the Pharaohs and kept San Francisco 4-6, still alive in that playoff hunt. Also, too, in this morning, Oklahoma City was 2 yards away from winning the game, lost on a 4th and goal incomplete pass, 41-37. It has been a tremendous day on the 11 Sports Network. Play action, Miller pump fake, now goes bottom of the screen, caught short of the first down. Jones at the 32-yard line, 90 yards, 5 catches for Jones.
Yeah, that had to have been at least the 25th time I've seen that play run, but it's working. It's only been 2 times. They're 23 for 25 on that play.
28 of 38 overall for Miller. 325.
Yeah, he's having a good game.
Yeah.
Really.
QBR 108. Kept it clean. 2 receivers either side. 3:34 to go. Clock stops. 2nd and 1 of the 32. Miller back to pass. Has an out route outside. Gets greedy. And it's nearly intercepted. He wide open. It would have been a first down to Logan Keel. Miller started thinking about the big headline.
Yeah, and Itier was there to break it up. But, an important point here is McChesney's been quiet, I think, since the first quarter. I mean, he's the type of guy that can make, the same type of runs Redford can do.
In fact, he had 51 yards on 18 carries there a little while ago, just 50 yards on 20 carries tonight. Offside, Vegas is going to give him a first down on 3rd and 1. And if there's any saving grace for the Night Wings tonight, it's been third down. They have owned the Fury on third down.
Yeah, they have. That's an unfortunate. That's one mistake on the Vegas defense for an otherwise flawless performance tonight.
That's on Kyriakis, who was just signed a couple of weeks ago, and that'll give the Night Wings a first down. And, you know, going back to that missed out route to the top of the screen for Miller, that's just what this Vegas defense does to you. It rattles you, Sawyer specifically.
Right. Yeah, Sawyer does that. You know, anytime you got that big man going to be falling on you, you got to be looking for him every snap.
The big hits.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. 2 in the backfield. Hand off McChesney. Behind a lead blocker. McChesney can't get away. McChesney, man, he just waited, sunk down behind his offensive lineman and waited for a hole to open up, picks up 7 yards. That might have been his best run of the night.
Yeah, definitely. 7 yards on this run, 7 yards, I think, on his touchdown run as well. I mean, it's a smart move to get him involved in this game.
50 receiving yards and 57 rushing yards for McChesney tonight. Under 3 to play. 2nd and 3 at the 45. Hand off McChesney. And McChesney is brought down immediately by Jet Zero. And I can't say it was a 0-yard gain because he lost a yard.
Yep. Yeah, I thought you were going to take
it on that one. I really wanted to, though.
It was teed up for you, man.
But you have to be accurate, Charles.
I know.
Especially in situations like this.
You got to keep your eye on the ball. You whiffed it on that one.
Come on. It's 3rd and 4. That was like 3 digs in a row.
You're nervous on the tee, you know?
No, I'm not. 7 for 17. Denver on 3rd down. Back to pass. Miller going long. It is incomplete, knocked away by Sconsing, and it stops the clock. 4th and 4. What do you do?
What you do is you put a vote in for Sconsing for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, that was a big stop right there. The wide receiver was wide open. If he would have got it in his hands, it would have been touchdown all day.
And it looks like with 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, Denver's going to go for it. 4th and 4. Miller empty out of the gun, 5 wide.
Wow.
Takes it down. Miller throws. And he got it for the first down. What a play at the top of the screen. And that is, who is that up there? It's not McChesney. I believe it was
the backup halfback?
It looked like Jones, Giacomo Jones up at the top of the screen that just ran kind of a stop route. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. And the Night Wings are still alive, chasing first place. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Don't go anywhere. First down of the Denver 49-yard line. Night Wings down 1. Hoping that Kramer, Jackman, or anybody else could potentially get the game winner for Denver. McChesney picks up 6 to the Vegas 45. The clock is ticking. The Fury might not get the ball back. Denver has 82 offensive plays to Vegas's 45.
Yeah, very smart play calling here. It's impressive. I mean, that's why Denver's up at the top in the standings. It's been flawless so far in the last couple series.
And that was actually Andrew James White on that 4th down catch that got the first down. That pass is caught for a first down at the 37-yard line. That is basically Jackman's range as Keel makes the catch. And now Vegas, with 2 timeouts left, they have to be very careful about how they utilize these timeouts because they cannot let Denver run this ball all the way down.
Well, you know, if I was calling plays, I'd do that. I'd run. I mean, you don't want to put the ball up in the air there and get it back into Vegas' hands because it'll be ball game.
This is Rhett Sawyer's game to win for Vegas. Yep. Sacks are what can keep Denver out of field goal range right now. Miller will hand it off to McChesney. McChesney up the middle. Sawyer got cut down, and
he hopped over him.
Hopped over him and gets 7. And now, stopping the clock, Freddie
down.
Trammell is down. And the question is, with the clock stopped, does Vegas have to burn a timeout? And he came up limp here.
Blew out a hammy, it looks like.
He was going to make the tackle on McChesney, ran right past him trying to get out of the way.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That looked painful, and now with a minute and a half to go, it looks like Vegas was not charged a timeout, so they end up getting a bonus timeout with Trammell's injury. That, I don't know about that one. That's a little shady right there. 2 receivers either side. Miller with McChesney in the backfield. Miller going to throw, and Miller to the outside, caught for a first down. It does stop the clock, but I mean, barring an unforeseen gaffe by Denver, the Night Wings have put themselves in position to wipe their brow and somehow come away with a win here.
Yeah, I would not want to see them pass the ball at all. I mean, Sawyer could blow that up and knock him out of field goal range easy.
Absolutely, or a fumble, or and it's just too risky. McChesney now 69 yards on 24 carries. Out of the eye, nickel look for Vegas. They're going to throw it. Miller down the field. It's caught
my God.
at the 5-yard line, and Vegas calls a timeout, and Denver's in business now. It's Avery Allen.
Holy mackerel.
That almost
Josh
was
Miller
picked.
just said, Cam Charles, shut your yap.
Look.
I'm going to pass it.
Oh,
my gosh.
Merrick Itera.
That was a gutsy. I am overusing that term, but man, that was gutsy.
Itera had it. I thought he had it, man. First and goal from the 5. And Denver can just sit on this. Just sit on this. I wouldn't even try to score. You know, Jackman's automatic. 1:22 to go in the 4th. Hand off McChesney. McChesney got a block or two. Hit at the 3. And now Vegas is going to take their last timeout. So if you're doing the math, 2 more runs for Denver without a touchdown would mean, outside of a block kick, Vegas is going to lose this game.
Definitely.
You got to let them score at this point, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one way to do it. They haven't shown the ability in that mid-third quarter to fourth quarter to be able to put points on the board quickly.
I agree with you. They only have 55 passing yards, so it's not the position you want to be. But, I mean, it's probably a better odds than a blocked field goal. Hand off McChesney. McChesney is stood up at the line. They didn't let him score.
Unbelievable.
Jackson with the tackle at the 1, the team captain. And now the clock is going to roll, and you have to let him score on this next play.
Yeah. They're not going to get any time if they do indeed get the ball back. They're not going to have enough time to put any points on the board, I believe.
Kramer Jackman has never missed. He's 55 of 55 for his career. And they're 1 yard away, 50 seconds to go. Miller under center. They're taking their time. That's wise.
They should.
Under 40 to go.
If they pass it, I'm just going to pass out here.
3 on the clock. Miller going to throw. Miller to the end zone. It's knocked away.
Oh, my God.
What are you doing?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, pick me up,
What?
Cam.
Let me get the fan out. Let me get the fan out.
Oh, dear gosh.
What is
oh,
Denver
Lord.
thinking? And what a tremendous play by Thomas Rahman Jr. If he would have picked that off, the game is over. But he couldn't get out there. He just got out there with an outstretched hand. And the game is still alive for Vegas. Unbelievable.
I think they should kick the field goal on this one.
I think they should kick the field goal. Yes. Yes. Oh, my goodness. It is Vice Wars, the rivalry. This rivalry.
What a rivalry game.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
2 Western teams with a chip shot field goal good. And don't forget, Max Jackson.
Yep.
Kickoff
He did it
return
last
for a
week.
touchdown last week. Dustin McRack had a game-winning field goal last week against Sioux Falls. Woo! 29 seconds to go. and Rochelle in the chat saying they're not going to go for it? I mean, my goodness. Josh Miller, for as well as Miller has played tonight, left the door open just then for Vegas. And Jackson's going to bring it out. Jackson past the 10, 15, 20, and nothing more than that. Can't blame Jackson for trying to make something happen.
Had to do it.
So here we go. A passing offense that has had 55 yards passing tonight. Redford's averaging 12 yards a carry. do you even dare just hand it off to Redford to see
I would.
if he can break it out again?
Single back and just hand it off to him.
This is a tough task for Vegas. No timeouts. They need about 50 yards or so. Rahman hit as he threw, and that stops the clock, but better than a sack. Tramel's out. Not that it matters because we won't see Denver's offense on the field again. We saw them for 90 offensive plays tonight in 12 drives. That's an average of about 8 plays a drive.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of time for those deep passes to develop. Logan Mack on that one was in his face in a matter of in a second and a half.
22 seconds left. 4 receivers. Rahman changing the play. How's his audible game? Out of the dime for Denver. Rahman going long down the field. It's intercepted, and Denver's going to win the game. Unbelievable. The Denver Nightwings survive, and there's now a 3-way tie for first place at 8-1, and that has been the theme of the weekend, Charles. All of these top-tier teams keep getting scared by upsets.
Yeah, challenged.
And challenged by upsets, a much better word, Charles. And all of them have been able to come out victorious. And as you look at the top 6, Denver's about to join Seattle and Baltimore all at 8-1. Tallahassee, Mexico City, Chicago all sitting there with 2 losses. And Alaska 6-3. They're still stuck in 7th as Josh Miller takes the victory formation. And that, Charles, was an exhausting 2 hours. Boy, that was fun.
It was. And, I think this is going to make the playoffs probably one of the best playoffs we've had because, like you said, some of the better teams have been challenged. They have to fine-tune their game, and they're going to be ready for the playoffs.
Vegas is going to fall to 4-6, and one of their last games is at home against Denver. That's going to be must-win territory for them. And next week, who they got, Charles, next week?
Next week, Denver has London, and then they play at New Orleans, and then at Vegas, and then Las Vegas goes at New Orleans and then home at Denver.
So at New Orleans just got eliminated today. That's a game that Vegas has to win. You could be looking at the last week of the season, Vice Wars determining playoff spots if Vegas is 5-6 and playing that ball game.
You know what? I don't care what the standings are going to be. That second game is going to be awesome.
Absolutely. That was one for the ages. And if Vegas would have come back and won, that might have been a top 10 game of all time. I'm not going to go that far, but that was a classic. Vice Wars 3 lived up to the billing tonight. Yeah,
the Denver's victory really overshadowed some fantastic play by Sawyer on defense, 3 sacks, and also, obviously Robert Redford with 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. But I think the MVP of this game, the player of the game, needs to be Josh Miller.
Oh, that Dustin McRack, or was that? I missed the beginning of the play. That might have been Jackman's kick from way out there. But wow, that was razor thin. But what a tremendous game! It would be very disappointing after the way that Vegas has played in the last 3 weeks. You want to see a team like that in the playoffs,
Definitely.
But right now. They're in some trouble, and a big victory tonight for Tulsa. Tulsa gets the win. They're at 4-5. They move up in the standings, now tied with London in 11th place, just a half game back of Sioux Falls, who plays tomorrow night against Mexico City.
Yeah, this is Denver's 7th in a row, so they're hitting it on all cylinders.
The Denver Nightwings still fighting for home field advantage, and that fight will continue next week against London. Josh Miller wins player of the game, 32 of 45, 369, 1 touchdown, and a 102.9 QBR. He kept the clean sheet tonight, although that throw at the end almost threw the game away. For Charles Doherty and Stephen Hacker, who's been our amazing statistician tonight, Charles Doherty, our amazing analyst, I am your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget, coming up next, Tallahassee, Houston on the 11 Sports Network. And for all of us from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium in Denver, good night, everybody.
Get me some oxygen.